Now we're gonna make homemade chicken Alfredo sauce. Yes, I finally fulfilled everybody's request and we're gonna make it today. So, I already have my pan heated to medium, and what Alfredo sauce is a derivative of a mother sauce called bechamel. Bechamel is usually your thickener, usually flour, some sort of fat, usually butter. So we're gonna make it the healthy way. So I'm going to put in about 2 tablespoons of olive oil, because we're going to have fat, we're going to make it good. And then we're going to do 2 tablespoons of our thickener, which is garbanzo bean flour. You always want to do equal parts fat to thickener for whatever you use. So we're going to mix this up and make our roux. And I like garbanzo bean flour because it's gluten-free for all the gluten-free people out there, and I love the nuttiness that it brings to everything. Okay, so we got this going here. We're going to let that cook for a little bit, and we're going to talk about our milk. Now, the classic bechamel usually has like heavy cream. You can tone it down with like half and half or vitamin D milk. I like to use flax milk and the unsweetened kind, and this is why. 1 cup is only 25 calories. It has 30% of your calcium for the day, 25% of both vitamin D and your vitamin B12, and I love that it also has 1,200 milligrams of omega-3s. So if you're going to do it right. So let's go ahead and we're going to add 2 cups of flax milk. And if we're going to have a cheat treat, which Alfredo sauce is definitely a cheat treat, doing the flax milk, which is I'm only having 50 calories here, instead of 2 cups of regular whole milk, is 160 calories per cup. I mean, you're really cutting the calories here. So you can afford to have a little bit of cheese and a little bit of olive oil. All right, so we're going to add this here and let it get nice and warm. Now let's talk about our cheeses. I have a blend. A lot of people for Alfredo sauce will use like mozzarella or some kind of fatty soft cheese. I really like white cheddar. It has a really strong punchy flavor. I have a little bit of pepper jack in here because I like it hot. And then I also have Parmesan. Parmesan is an aged cheese. And I like the tart, strong flavor of the Parmesan as well. So I have 3 cups of all 3 cheeses in here. So let's go ahead and add it. We're gonna add a little bit at a time so we can just kind of let it melt without it getting too grainy. Oh, that's melting nicely. Let's add the rest of it. I'm not going to do any salt right now because cheese is salty and we already talked about too much salt, so we don't need to go over that again. But I will add some white pepper. White pepper also has a very nice, distinct flavor. Then I also have some garlic here. About a tablespoon of fresh parsley. I just like parsley. And then about a teaspoon to a teaspoon and a half of dried rosemary. So we'll go ahead and let this simmer and thicken up, and I will show you what it looks like. Now we're gonna make pasta, and I have a couple tips and tricks that I learned from a culinary class so that you can have perfect pasta every time. Okay. So I have my water already boiling, and I picked out my type of pasta. One of my favorite types of pasta is penne. Now here is the trick that I learned that will change your life, I promise. And it's actually salt. I know! We always talk about how we need to watch our sodium, and it's not about how much you salt, it's when you salt. Well, this is one of those when times. So, what we're going to do, I have about a quart of water in here, and we're going to put about a tablespoon of salt in this water while it's at a rolling boil. And that's why it's important. It's the when part. So 1 tablespoon to 1 quart of water when it's boiling right before you put your pasta in. just stir it up a little bit so they don't stick. Okay, now this is why salting is important. So, what's this? I know it's a noodle. Come on, give me a better answer than that. This is just dried up flour and water. So what's it gonna taste like? Nothing! That's why you put sauce on it, right? So if you put this little ball of dough and water with nothing in it, what's it gonna taste like? Nothing! So if you put salt in your water right before you put the pasta in, it's gonna soak up just a little bit of that salt. So when you put your sauce on, you don't need to put extra salt and Parmesan cheese and all that craziness on top of your pasta because it's already properly seasoned. Another thing, you saw me put salt in. Did you see what I did not do? Anybody? Anybody? Okay, I did not put olive oil in here. You know why? Well, most people say, well, I want to put olive oil in here so that the pasta doesn't stick together. Well, if the pasta doesn't stick together and then you put the sauce on it, the sauce isn't going to stick on your pasta either. So there's no need to put olive oil in your water. You're just wasting beautiful olive oil and your money. So you just have to stir it once or twice. It looks perfect. Okay, I'm going to let these boil up and then we will go to the next step. Now that our pasta has been boiling for about 8 to 10 minutes, let's go ahead and strain it. And I'll give you another tip. Okay. Still don't oil it. Because we're going to put our yummy sauce on top of it and it's going to be wonderful. Another thing is that you don't have to rinse this either. Unless you're doing a cold pasta salad, then you'll want to rinse it because this has starch and gluten. You want to rinse that off. But if you're doing a hot pasta dish, don't rinse your pasta because the starch in the pasta is going to thicken the sauce for you. So if your sauce is a little runny, don't worry about it. We'll just put the pasta in and see what happens. So that's what we're going to go ahead and do with the Alfredo. Our sauce has been cooking for about 10 to 15 minutes and our pasta's all ready to go. So come on over and look. And you see that it is a little runny and that's okay. We're going to add the pasta anyway and see what the starch does in thickening up the sauce. All right, let's start with that first. It smells so good. I wish you could smell this. It's amazing. Oh, look how pretty. You see that the noodles did thicken and soak up the sauce. The cheese didn't quite get as creamy and smooth as I had hoped. However, we did save about 300 calories skipping the milk and the high-fat dairy and using the flax milk. But the flavor is spot on. I'm very, very 110% happy with the flavor. So I'll continue to work and perfect this recipe, and I'm sure I'll do a follow-up video once we have it all dialed in. But in the meantime, this is just some ideas for you to play with and get some, recipe ingredient substitutions to think about. And this is what the finished dish looks like. I added some chicken and onions and baby bella mushrooms and put some fresh parsley on top for a pop of color. And as always, stay fit, stay jazzy. Hi, I'm Jazzy. And 5 years ago, I was 103 pounds overweight. And I was able to lose it all by making better and healthier choices in my life. Go to my website, jazzyfitclub.com. Signing up is completely free, and I will send you weekly videos and recipes, and also blogs of things that I learned along the way that helped me, such as sugar cravings and PMS and binge weekends and all the emotional roller coaster up and down of eating and how to get out of that and stay on track. And if you like this video, please like and subscribe. Feel free to put in any questions below. Even send me a recipe or two that you absolutely love that you would like for me to revamp for you.